I don't think people realize actually like how intelligent you are because you really have like dumb blonde personality. Have you looked like Instagram and Facebook? It'll tell you how many hours you've been on. It's startling.
I have, and I'm like scared to look at it now. When you're like going in the bathroom, and sometimes you're just, I'll scroll on my phone, and then you're like,
is that why men are in the bathroom for so long?
yes, and what's going on in the news.
So you don't have like rectal issues.
No, not that I know of.
Wait, two girls at the same time?
Yeah.
Do they know?
When the weather heats up, people are getting horny.
This is Kelly Misgorski.
And Ryan Frankowski.
And you're listening to
Mocktails Are Messy!
We're in a good mood today.
I know. Is it the tequila?
Yeah, for me it is.
Yeah. Well, got to introduce our mocktail and our messy today. We have Withco cocktails.
Yeah, so it's Friday night and we are getting down with Withco.
Yeah, baby.
Withco did send us a mix. You do 1 part Withco mix and 1 part liquor.
Or the non-alcoholic liquor like I have today.
Yes.
Agave margarita makes 10 crafted cocktails with fresh juices and real botanicals. Withco. With company cocktails. How do you like it?
So this is a really good flavor. This is actually my favorite mix that I've tried. It reminds me of when I was in Cabo. They squeezed the oranges and the limes and the lemon. It tastes amazing. This is really good. What do you
Cheers
think?
to Withco. I love it, actually. The mocktail is really good. I think it tastes like very fresh. Like, you know, some of those margarita mixes are a little, and even Skinny Girl. I like Skinny Girl, but it's starting to get a little too preservative tasting.
Yeah.
This is fresh. Dierks Bentley, the country musician, he is a co-founder with Josh Ellis. And we will have Josh on the podcast coming up.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, so thank you, Withco and Sarah, for sending us to our production office. It's really good. I love it. I mean, I think that you're really into it minus the sugar.
I'd say minus the sugar, but you really can't beat the flavor. If you do a sugar-free margarita, it's not going to taste this good.
It's not.
So this is for when I would want to splurge.
Exactly, because we both are trying to get ready for summer, but we're not gonna like kill ourselves.
Not on a Friday night.
No,
not on a Friday night.
We're letting loose this weekend, Kelly, and I'm digging the hair. You look amazing with this long hair.
Thank you. Shout out to Dawson at Studio Raw.
Ooh, Dawson hooked you up.
Oh, honey, he always hooks me up.
I love it. And wait, free hugs. Can I get a hug?
Oh. Yes. Now, okay, so we are wearing our Chucky shirts because we are both fans of the movie. But I need you to do your Chucky impression.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Chucky. I'm a good guy doll. We'll be friends till the end. Heidi ho.
And who's having nightmares tonight?
Me or you? No, actually, I'm still scared of it. I love to be scared. Halloween is like amazing holiday. Like, it's just like the one night a year that you can be like very slutty or very sexy or very scary, like the 3 S's.
Dude, once the 4th of July is over, I start thinking about Halloween.
Yeah, ding, 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 because she loves a good costume.
Oh, wait for this year. You and we're going to do it up.
I know. I would love to do Chucky, like you be...
I'll be the bride.
Yes.
And you be Chucky.
Well, we flip the shirts because I think it kind of simulates our personality. You're a little bit of the alpha female that keeps me in check, keeps the boys in check. Yep, me and your husband. And I'm a little bit of a fucking girl. I mean, no shame. Like, you know, I'm a little prima donna. I like to, you know, embrace my feminine side.
You know what? Somebody has to keep you in check. And as long as the dynamic is working, then I'm happy to do that.
Cheers.
So cheers.
To Withco and Chucky.
Yes.
I love a
Weird
good Chucky.
combo, but let's cheers to that.
I know.
So why were you late to my house yesterday?
Oh, well, I got a text message from Alert Your partner that somebody must have got an STI, an STD. They alerted me. I had to go to the doctor, the clinic. I'm like, when's the last time that I had a hookup? I don't remember. I think it was literally January.
Yeah, you told me it's been a long ass time for you.
Yeah, like I'm like in work mode. I'm in study mode. I just like, but needless to say, I'm clear. I got tested. We're all good. I'm negative on all the results. I mean, I just think it's always scary when you get like a text message that's like an alert system and you don't know who it's coming from. But it is a really important thing to alert your partners if you ever do find that you're in that predicament.
Yes.
You know, I
Yes.
mean, there is a lot of things going on, especially summer's heating up. Usually it's getting sexy when the weather's when the weather heats up, people are getting horny.
Well, you know, everybody's showing more skin.
Yes, yes.
You know, I'm excited for my hot mom summer that I'm about to have.
'Cause I know myself, I didn't love the way I felt when I was like, 20 pounds heavier during COVID and eating whatever I wanted and drinking. But I will say I was loving life.
This is important. You told me that actually when you got sober, you lost 18 pounds.
Weird.
And that is quite a number, for all you did was cut drinking and then then your life snowballed into something else.
I think for me, I loved Corona, I loved tequila, I loved drinking, munchies, all that stuff. And so like it was a lot of like open calories, a lot of sugar, a lot of like cheat meal snacks, and so for me, it was just kind of like, even though I was working out, I probably wasn't pushing myself as much because I was a little hungover the next day. And then on top of it, it's like a lot of empty calories for me. And I'm not a moderation type of guy.
Me, same. And I think that I know that alcohol does lower your ambition, so it'll make you like flirt with someone that you wouldn't typically flirt with.
Yes.
Or eat a whole like half of a pizza or a whole pizza even if you're not hungry. Like maybe I would have had chicken and rice and broccoli for dinner, but now that I had, the margarita, I'm having a whole Mexican dinner.
Right. You got to go hard.
Right. So like I can totally see how you easily dropped 18 pounds when you stopped the booze.
Yeah, and I don't have any judgment for somebody that wants to continue drinking and like have moderation, or maybe like I always say the pause from the sauce, because I think I've been doing that my whole life ever since I turned 21. I've always been like, okay, you got to get ready for a shoot, or hey, you got to get ready for that vacation in Mexico. And so it would always be like, okay, I got to cut the booze or the drinking, because then I'm very focused and the empty calories behind it.
Yes, and I do want to talk about, so like for me personally, my goal, I'm cutting alcohol by 50%.
Right.
And I have felt a world of a difference. I feel great. I'm not someone who wants to cut it completely from my life because I do enjoy having it. And I love the name that you gave me.
Yes, we got you Miss Misty.
Misty, add a little mist in there.
Yeah.
I'm not like super wet, like, oh.
As a drinker.
Just a little misty.
I love you. I know that we're so inappropriate, but that's kind of like the MO between mocktails or messy. We like to get a little messy, and that could be drinking. That could be just perverted inappropriateness.
We are perverted.
Yes.
And then I really like your name.
Yes.
So you deemed yourself the
I
dry
coined the
bi
term.
guy. So that is bi-coastal, bisexual.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, I love it.
I mean, most people think like, okay, well, he's been in a relationship with like a guy and then another guy. But then in between those two relationships, I was like on a summer fling with like these two girls back in 2019.
Wait, two girls at the same time?
Yeah.
Did they know? Oh my God, story time.
I mean, it was just one of those things that, whenever it's like casual dating, that's the best. Like, oh, you love to meet out with dinner. You love to like
Was
hang
everybody
out.
on the same page?
Yeah, they were. So let's be honest. They were probably like, "Hey, you're just a piece of meat." That way, I felt like because they knew that I was in a relationship with Mish back in the day, and they were like, "Oh, well, like, hey, we'll have a good time, and like, we'll be getting down tonight."
So a little backstory: Michelle is a very sexy Israeli.
Oh no, you did not nail it.
Kuwaiti.
Kuwaiti. Kaifi Kuwaiti.
Oh my gosh.
Habak Mainoon Habibi, mashallah.
I got confused. I was thinking about that flight attendant.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. That was bad.
Okay, so people were wondering, like, how has our drinking changed since college? And that reminds me to tell a college story.
Yes, a good Penn State story. You came to visit me. You traveled from Slippery Rock. We love to go out, hit the bars. We were 21 and we hit the town hard.
A little bit too hard. Okay, so before we went out, we definitely pre-gamed. What was our drink of choice back then?
Had, so your favorite, because you could not do straight shots.
I still can't. I don't do that. So Washington apple, right?
Yes, you like your Washington apples. You were a typical basic biddy. You like to have cranberry, Jaeger, and peach schnapps. What an awful combination, but they do, surprisingly, when they're mixed, they do taste pretty good. Okay,
so who knows how many shots we took?
Oh, God. I mean, that's the thing. When you're like in college and you're just like getting done with midterms, I remember this, like we were both getting done with midterms and it worked out the same time. And then the weekend was a football weekend, Michigan versus Penn State. Wild. Everybody was up there and we went out to the bars. We had a lot of Washington apples and the lines were so long for the bathrooms.
Yeah. So the lines were crazy long. You'd have to wait at least a half an hour. And some of the gas stations, like, they didn't have restrooms inside.
Like, when you're like have to go so bad and you're like drinking and having like, so many liquids, your like bladder can't handle so much.
I'm going to compare it to like, those road trips that you go on and your bladder has never hurt worse than when you're stuck on the road and you just need to frickin' get to a bathroom. So we're feeling like that, okay?
Yeah.
We go behind a dumpster and we start to
freak a leak.
We took a freak a leak. Yes.
We freaked a leak.
It was a freaky leak. We're like, okay, this is a good spot. There's like a hill behind.
Yeah.
It's like there's nobody around. Nobody can see us here.
There's a fence. I mean, like we were not it was the best option, I thought. I mean, unless we were going to just pee our pants.
We would have peed our pants, 100%. So we zip up our pants after we, like, took a piss together, and we're walking back out
to the... That sounds so vulgar, took a piss together.
After we urinated together. After we relieved ourselves, okay?
Yes.
And we're walking back to the sidewalk, and a cop starts walking over to us out of nowhere. I don't know where the hell he was hiding.
Yeah.
It's almost like he was waiting for someone to pee there.
I know.
And we got slapped with 2
public urinations. Oh my God. $300
Daddy was
each.
Not proud. Your
Neither
daddy was not proud.
Oh my God. I think my mom like tore me a new one. She was so pissed. She saw it coming in the mail. And
right.
I'm like,
so I was smart. I had it sent to my college house.
You were smart.
So, I mean, we just went and worked at the BBT, Bloomfield Bridge Tavern.
Yeah.
We were bartenders. We bartended for a night. We paid it off. But it still was a big slap on the wrist.
I think it was a big wake-up call because, that could be like a dangerous thing, like public indecency, like, like you're going the bathroom outside. I think it scarred me a little bit in a positive way. Like, I would never now, like, I will hold it. I will make sure I find a bathroom. Yeah. I will do my best diligence of like being so much more aware of.
Same. I'll pee my pants first now. Unless I'm hiking, I'll just go off and peel off into the woods if I'm hiking. But So yeah, I think to answer the question is like our drinking has changed significantly since college.
Yes.
I mean, you're dry now.
Oh, yeah, the
I
dry
am
by
like
guy.
misty. We've really
Yes.
scaled it back, and
I
we're not crazy
know.
anymore.
And I think you scaled it back because you have 2 children. I mean, you got to wake up in the morning. You got to take care of them.
I'd say I scaled it back like a few steps before the kids, and then had to
Okay.
scale it back even more
Yes.
with the kids, if that makes sense.
I think for me, there are different forms of like taking it too far. You know, I don't think like day to day I ever had an issue, but like sometimes like when I'm feeling myself and like going out, like I do really not know how to turn off like the drinks. Like, and it can get expensive going out and just buying.
Right. And like, and you're saying like you don't know how to turn it off, which makes me like want to bring up addictive personalities, which I think we both
Yes.
have. Like,
We do.
we both were runners. We both were like fitness enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Anything we do, it's almost like we get kind of like addicted to it.
Right. Even the phone, like scrolling and
Yes.
stuff.
Oh
like,
my gosh. And I think that a lot of people have that problem. Have you looked like Instagram and Facebook? It'll tell you how many hours you've been on. Have you ever looked at that? Because it's startling.
I have, and I'm like scared to look at it now. When you're like going in the bathroom, and sometimes you're just, I'll scroll on my phone, and
Oh,
then
is
you're
that
like,
why men are in the bathroom for so long?
yes. We're just looking at what's going on in the news.
So
And
you don't have like rectal issues.
no, not that I know of.
Because I'm sorry, I'm like in and out. Like I don't have to sit there like pushing for like minutes. Like it's crazy.
Maybe we're embarrassed because we're on the phone too much, scrolling through TikTok and Insta. I mean, it is bad. Like I will purposefully, like at the certain point in the night, I will leave it upstairs just because it's like another level in the home that
Oh,
you're
that's
like,
really smart.
you're like, okay. But I think with us, it's tricky because, like, you know, we're sending DMs for work, being involved in social media for our business. It becomes hard to manage the personal and the business kind of lines get blurred with the phone because there's emails and
Yeah.
there's, you know, texting about scheduling. And I almost feel like it's good to like have a work phone.
I think so too. Now, I know that like anytime I've tried to drink less, and I know that you've had this issue since you've been dry, there's always going to be peer pressure, people trying to like force you to do something that you don't want to do, like drinking more or drinking in general. And I know that you had an experience recently. I think that your story would be very valuable so that others know that they're not alone, if you don't mind sharing.
Yes, I was with like family, which are really fun, and they were we're in and out of town, and you know they have restaurants, and like one owns a winery, which is kind of crazy. I just realized, and so like for them, it's like part of their life, their culture, like you know being in the restaurant business and owning bars, and then like having like a wine and winery, and it's like for me like coming in and saying like I'm not drinking, and they're used to me being like the fun, wild Ryan Franco, the party animal.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard now to kind of be like, oh no, I'm good. Like, I'm just going to do mocktails. Like, I will show up now with non-alcoholic beers, with like, I even came with like non-alcoholic White Claw, and it was so undercover. Like, I think that's my biggest fear or obstacle is I want to be so undercover.
Right.
I don't want it to be known whenever there are people that are like, oh, I missed the fun, wild party, Franco. I wish that you would just have a shot with me. Or I wish that you would just have like a real, like, you know, and so it felt uncomfortable having to have that conversation constantly. But luckily, my cousin who's pregnant was really into the non-alcoholic beers. She loves IPAs. She loves Athletica. She loves like finding out these new beers. And her husband, who is doing it with her, he's staying dry the whole 9 months of her pregnancy.
Oh, that's super cool.
He's awesome. Yeah, like to do that and be like, hey, I'm going to do it because It's not easy for you. I don't think it's difficult for her, but like, you know, she wanted to just have like beers. And now that she's found this like new line of like all these different non-alcoholic beers, it really is like, wow, maybe I don't need to drink, or maybe I can implement the non-alc beers with the real beers.
Right. And I wanted to talk about best tips for cutting back.
Yes.
So like,
absolutely.
I know like in college, you got away with it for so long before I actually noticed you were doing it.
Yeah.
I remember on my 21st birthday, we're all taking shots, and I look over and I see you throw this shot behind your shoulder. You just threw it behind your shoulder. And like, I called you out on it, I remember. And you were like, honey, I've been doing this
for years.
Yeah.
I think I've been doing it since like, you know, probably since I was into the fitness, because like, you know, when you go out with people and they just are like, we're doing a shot, and they will not let you, and I don't want them to waste the money on my shot, so I'm just like, hey, just get me a water shot, or if they're really adamant and they're like, no, you are taking this, I'll just be like, if we're in a dive bar, I'm like,
yeah.
throw it back. You don't know.
Yeah, so I love that. And then something I've been implementing is I did purchase some like non-alcoholic wine, because I do like wine. So like I'll do 1 glass of alcoholic wine, like normal wine, and then I switch back and forth between the non-alc and the alc.
Saint Viviana, which you really like, that Cabernet that we tried a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It doesn't really, I haven't found a non-alcoholic wine that I'm like wowed by.
Right.
I do want to get to that point of being able to find that. But hey, it's better than grape juice.
And then I'll say, if you're doing like White Claws, I like to alternate between like White Claw or like Truly or White Claw, whatever I'm doing, and a soda water, like just a normal soda water. It could be lime flavored, whatever you want. So you're alternating. And I know we knew this way back 10 years ago. They'd say, you know, have a glass of water between each drink. And of course, we never did that.
I know. It's like always easier said than done.
Right. But now I think it's fun to like implement, you know, something just to slow you down a bit.
Well, I even think with the non-alc White Claw, like they were really good, and they have it's interesting. I mean, some people think it's so stupid to like just not buy like a can of sparkling water or like a, you know, like a Pellegrino or like a Spindrift, but the non-alc White Claw
if you're at a party,
really good.
If you're at a party, that's money.
Yeah. And also on top of it, it has electrolytes in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. That's cool.
They're trying to make it worth your like
so you wake up the next morning feeling super good.
And if you implement both, then you're kind of like keeping a good even keel.
There you go.
Yeah.
I really like that. Now I know the other day you were going through a really hard time, something that I've been through as well.
Yes. Like it's been just weighing on me because I'm just like really having problems, because I used to be a people pleaser. I used to come in and out of town like when I lived in LA or New York, and it was just so easy to just pop in and like play nice and, you know, not necessarily get along, but I'm willing to play nice in the sandbox.
Yeah, and I would like for you to discuss how the dynamic changes when you go from a drinker to a non-drinker.
That is it. You nailed it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm struggling with. I am now completely sober. My beer goggles are off. My lenses are clear. I'm much more unfortunately judgmental, because I know what I've been like. I've been messy. I've been in a little wild, inappropriate.
You're not judgmental. You're just not tolerating the same bullshit anymore.
Let's
get that straight.
Okay, so I'm not judgmental because I've been told I was judgmental since I've been a...
Please don't believe all the insults that you're told.
Okay. That's why it's probably good that I'm not a drinker anymore, because I'm like, God, if I had a drink, and like, I even know like going through the breakup, whatever, I like was saying a lot of outlandish, crazy things because I was drinking the vino. But I mean, you know yourself with me, like, I'm like the nicest guy. Like, I'm not ever trying to like create conflict or drama. Like, I might have like a good laugh and like I might like make fun of you, but I want you to make fun of me, and it's all in playful character or form.
Mm-hmm.
I used to people please because I felt like certain people really need that validation.
Okay, validation. And we'll have to see if validity is even a word. I think it is.
Maybe not.
I don't think people realize actually like how intelligent you are because you really have like dumb blonde personality.
Well, cheers to us learning vocabulary.
Cheers. Or cheers to making up our own words. Thank you for listening to Mocktails Are Messy.
This is Ryan Frankowski.
And Kelly Misgorski.
Oh, shit. This is Ryan Frankowski.
And Kelly Misgorski.
I think we kept talking over each other.
We did. Hey, you. I'm talking to you. You need to subscribe.
Please, we would love for you to subscribe to Mocktails Are Messy. All we request is you to subscribe to our channel. Chucky's gonna get you. Chucky's gonna get you.
Oh my God, my buttons.